So, I'm proposing to go out of order, and rather than take up our next public hearing right now, I would propose that we open the planning board meeting to hear from the local historic district. Marco Crescentini, who is the chair, is already with us. And of course, our associate Lauren is also on that committee. So do I hear a motion to open the meeting of the Holyoke Planning Board?
I would, except I don't see Marco anymore. Oh, here he's back.
He's coming.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
By roll call vote, Nathan,
Yes.
Bernander,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
and Mimi.
Yes.
Let me get Marco. Okay, he's coming. Looks like he might be having a little trouble.
Technology never as perfect as we hope.
Do I need to screen share the document, or are we just getting an overview?
Well, I'm not sure what Marco's going to want to do. Lauren, do you know whether there's an actual presentation to go with this, or?
I think it's just the report, and if you have any questions on it, he's saying that he can't seem to join with audio.
He's on his cell phone, so he might have to do *6 to unmute.
Okay. All right, I just texted him. Hang on a sec.
And here we are without even 300 people trying to join.
Technology.
Yeah.
Do you want to take up anything else while we're waiting? Within the meeting?
He's back in another one. Let's see.
Oh,
Well,
oh, yeah. Okay,
now he's got two connecting to audio. Wait.
yeah.
Nope. Well, okay, let me have a look at the agenda and see if there's anything else quick that we can deal with.
Probably not.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate to get started on either the job
Yeah.
description or.
I'm texting him to see if he has access to a computer, because clearly it's a cell phone
Yeah,
issue
it's-
that he's having. Sorry for the delay.
Well, nobody's fault. I always feel bad for people who are trying to do this via cell phone.
Oh, can we talk
Yeah, I
about?
tried to call in once on cell phone and I just couldn't
Yeah.
get in.
So Sharon, did you have a suggestion?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we have an opinion on when we're going to be resuming in-person meetings?
I would think there's no, well, we now have the extension for another 2 years on remote.
Right.
So
Okay.
he said, I'm sorry to interrupt, but he said that he's in a car. He'll be home in 30 minutes and he can hop on then.
Well, okay, if I'm sure we have other things we can do with the next
Right.
30 minutes if he wants to just join when he gets home.
Okay, and we have another hearing at 6:30, right, that we have to be in? Or did I look at it?
I think that's the next one. I
Oh,
think
okay,
it's
sorry.
just up tonight.
Apologies. Okay,
Oh, no, I had the same thing. I was like, are we back with the ordinance committee? But no, that's the next meeting.
okay. Okay, so I'll just tell him to join when he gets home.
Sure.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Good to have somebody in actual contact with him. So, okay, what is the pleasure of the board? We could open and, if necessary, suspend the public hearing for the zoning text change for the battery storage facility, which, you know, is currently, we have the public hearing, we have the opportunity to discuss. I have an extremely rough outline draft that we can start talking about. And the other big thing on our agenda tonight really is the Planner 2 job description. And I would be happy to take up either one of them while we wait for Marco. Does everyone have a preference, or anyone have a preference?
It really doesn't matter to me, but if we stay in the meeting rather than the hearing, we don't have to open and close again.
Yeah, well, this is true. Okay, well, then let us go on with whatever that header was for planning board business. And yes, go with the Planner 2 job description if there's a document we can look at.
Aaron, a couple weeks ago, I forwarded it to the planning board. Honestly, I'm trying to find it myself. It was a clean copy just before the interview, but I'm not seeing it. Do you?
I'm looking now, I would have put it in under personnel. Employment applications, Planner 2. And job description for all, this one here is called 2020. Is that the one?
I'd have to see it.
Yeah. All right, let me pull this up. It's got a bunch of yellows. This can't be the one. That was the official posting. So you want to find it? I will find it in the email if that's what you're looking for.
Like I said, a couple weeks ago, I had forwarded it to the board just as a, by the way, here's the Planner 2. And honestly, every time I query for the word planner, it comes up
Yeah.
in every.
All right, I have it.
Okay.
Our hero. Yes, I know you did, but I can't find it either.
Okay. Let's see. Can I? Oh, oops, I was bigger. Is that working for you guys? It's in the email. Does that work?
Yes.
It's a little too small. What's the
Okay.
email subject? I have two screens, so I can just look at.
Well, it was
I have-
sent on February 27th at 11:43 a.m.
Oh, Planner 2 job description. Yes, I have it. Okay.
I forgot how to increase my screen.
Control and then scroll the mouse up. Hold down Control and scroll the mouse up. It'll
Oh.
zoom.
Oh, got it. Thank you. Ooh,
Yeah.
okay. I want to move over. Can't move over.
Yeah, so the first thing to be would be change the with a focus on the cannabis industry. In the second line of the purpose.
Oh, you know what I have to do? I think I have to reply so that I can edit it.
Right, unfortunately, or you just copy and paste it into a Word doc.
Yeah, I could do that too. But okay. All right, second line, you said, get rid of this whole thing?
Yeah, is there a different focus that should be in there though, Jeff?
Well, I mean, in my world, I could have the director of the office would probably have a different opinion than me. But I know that at this point, I know that he's seeking to make it into a grant writing position to a significant degree.
Well, so I don't think we want to say that though, right? As a focus on,
No, I mean, at that point, you could just say activities of the planning department, period, and just strike the focus on the cannabis industry. It's kind of like how my description is kind of generic in certain points, so.
So, and then Sharon, I would take out the word additional and just start the second sentence with responsibilities. And then there may be a few other things. I mean, we could put grant writing into that
Right.
somewhere. And
So, but responsibilities may, one, I would suggest that we might take out may where it says responsibilities may include supporting the work of the planning
Yeah.
board, because that part is kind of a given.
Right, or just a will include supporting.
Yeah. And then,
I would,
and
and
may-
performing, right where you are, Sharon, because it's supporting, writing, and performing.
Mhm.
Is there anything else, though, that should be in there at the level of,
Well, I know that, again, we're kind of, as we all know, the cannabis industry has kind of declined or is now at a more of a steady development pace than it was 6 months or a year ago. So I guess the focus would be, the grant writing, having a GIS knowledge would be a benefit. The three bullets under essential functions related to cannabis, that might be able to be better if it was just brought down, if there was a way to consolidate that into one bullet point.
yes, how about just going with the acts as liaison between the office and the legal cannabis industry? Or,
True, yeah.
Okay, where were we? I'm sorry.
we're down in the bullet points.
All right, so you do see the Word document that I just started, right?
no, I'm
you're
still
in
seeing the email.
still.
Okay,
Now I
Yeah.
see your Word document.
there you go. Okay. Assist. What did you
So
guys
the-
want? to do?
The second two bullet points, those could be removed while keeping the third bullet point.
And maybe you want to move the cannabis industry part down lower, depending on what we think about the other bullet points.
Gotcha. Maybe there.
So it seems like maybe adding a bullet point about grant writing and adding a bullet point about GIS. Or maybe that's recommended, right?
Right, well, I mean, I would say the GIS could be a recommended minimum qualifications, knowledge of GIS / Esri, a bonus, or however you want to say that.
Yeah,
All right, is there anything else that should be added into these bullet points? Is grant writing, maybe we should add grant writing into the bullet points, or do you?
Yeah, if you could please.
Where would you
And
like?
I don't know how much to expand on that I mean, can you just merely, that might be something we'll have to ask Aaron about if there's some
Yeah.
verbiage related to grant writing that he wishes to see.
I don't know, something about researches, available grants, and writes and submits them. There's probably better language for that, and I just don't know the terms of art, as it were.
Me either. It'll come to us.
I mean, it's just, that it would be new for that position, because historically that position has supported grant writing efforts, but has not necessarily had to write grants, because that's always been the senior project manager in the past.
Yeah, I think
So,
what I'm thinking here is maybe if we do find somebody who's good at finding grants and knows how to write them, we can start getting in on some of that action.
Right.
And maybe he or she can find us grants that we wouldn't otherwise know about and go after them.
Right.
Uh-oh. Not working.
Well,
Formatting later.
content first, format later.
That's it. Yep.
And I would move the GIS stuff to add it under minimum qualifications. It probably wouldn't be an essential function. Knowledge of, but not necessarily.
Where's that,
No.
Jeff? The minimum?
I'm just, oh, no, because you're in the
Essential
section right there.
functions.
You were in it. It's called minimum, required minimum qualifications.
I still don't see required minimum. I'm not sure.
Right,
where-
the next
Down.
bold section down.
The next
Go
bullet
down,
is
right there. See where
Yeah,
it
right
says,
there.
oh, no, right there. See where it says recommended minimum?
Right below the bullets.
Oh. So you want, I'll just stick it here?
Well, I mean, but it's someplace in there and it's
Gotcha.
not,
Yep.
you know, it probably should be somehow integrated into that
An
paragraph.
education, training and experience thing. And we want to take out that last sentence that's now in bold.
Right. I mean, we can go out and like, I know there's other, I can go out and look at other applications or rather, job ads. Even for, I think the PVPC might have some flashy language that I can add. That would be like, you know, GIS knowledge preferred but not required or something to that effect, just because again, I think it would be a benefit to have
Yeah.
all of us working on that.
So that go under knowledge, ability and skill.
Maybe.
That's true. That's true as well.
Maybe both.
Yes. And once again, we can replace that or that knowledge of cannabis regulations with GIS.
Right.
Yeah, so are we taking out the, in knowledgeability and skill, we're taking out the sentence about Cannabis Control Commission
I
regulations?
hope so, yeah. And there's the language about knowledge of grant policies, procedures and methods.
Right.
There's your grown-up words.
Yeah, it's so nice when you can steal them rather than come up with them
But
yourself.
do you think that leaving the cannabis in the knowledge area because it's kind of drowned out by the others still might be a benefit though?
Yeah, but it should be optional, not required, in my opinion, right?
Well, that person is still gonna be whoever, if there ever is a planner too, their position would be dealing with the cannabis stuff. So it would be nice to have some knowledge if possible, no?
Yeah, did we leave it in anywhere or have we taken it out everywhere that it shows up?
Take it out already.
Because we could put it back with the knowledge of state and federal laws, regulations, city ordinances, which is the last place it came out of. We just stick it back there.
I'll go get it afterwards.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's basically just, it's a simple line of knowledge of Cannabis Control Commission Regulations 935 CMR 500. But I think, you know, again, obviously it's up to the board, but just offering that the position's still gonna be that contact person.
yeah, and it still is an area where stuff is going to come up and it would be useful to have somebody who already knew it and didn't have to learn it for the first time.
Right.
Should we go back up to the bullets? Were we okay there?
I think the thing we do need to rephrase it because all of the other, the GIS one, oh, research. Yeah, we just need to,
Yeah,
if
I
you're
think we could do-
importing the language from below, you need to make it a verb
Right.
because below it was knowledge.
Knowledge of grants, available grants.
All these other bullets
Researches and
are
rights.
action verbs though.
Yes, researches and rights. grants. And then we can have the knowledge part below. We might even say researches and rights grants for both the economic development and the planning side of the office.
Am I getting rid of this word here and submit?
Yeah,
Research and rights grants and knowledge of grant policies.
No, I think
Well,
you're
we
just
have that-
research and write grants.
Period.
And then what Amy was saying.
Okay, where does this go? Nowhere?
Where it was before, we're just gonna leave it there.
Where was it before that I took it
It
out?
was down under knowledgeability and skill.
I think you only copied it. It's still there.
Okay, so we're good.
But
And,
Mimi had some extra language for that sentence that I
Yeah, the
think helps
research-
make it seem.
and rights grants for both the economic development and the planning side of the office.
I'm sorry, I don't know what paragraph you want me
Oh,
to continue
That
in.
goes up to the bullet point for researches and rights grants.
Research and rights grants.
Yes. For both planning and economic development.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, so we're not leaving the economic development part of the office out, but we also aren't giving up the function.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I think we're done with bullet points.
Yeah.
I think it is true that we're trying to figure out where to put GIS, but it is under skills, I think. Already, so we just need to figure out if it needs to be mentioned elsewhere and how.
So you don't want GIS here under the education?
Well, I'm not sure, like, it
Yeah.
is one place already, so the question is where, if there's another place we want to mention it, what's the best one?
Right.
So as an example, at the Pioneer Valley Planning Commission for their Transit Planner 2, it says ability to use GIS for maps, graphics, analysis, and public outreach.
Okay, let's steal it.
And make that a bullet point?
Or just use that under, after under knowledge, ability, and skill. Knowledge, or rather ability to use GIS for maps, graphics, analysis, and public outreach.
That would be under ability.
Yeah, that would be where the red GIS is now, at the very bottom of knowledge, ability, and skill. Or at least at the very bottom of knowledge,
Over here.
right
But
there.
you've got it phrased as an ability, so if it's gonna stay phrased as an ability, I would go with ability.
Right.
So abilities, down below.
Right. So do you want no GIS up here, or you're not sure yet?
I don't think it needs to be up there.
Okay.
Right, so just under the word next section, ability.
Next section.
See how the next, you've
Oh,
got an
yeah,
italicized.
yeah. Gotcha. I should have looked at this before. I didn't realize.
Well, there's only so
might-
much that's on the screen.
And I would put it, it seems like it goes with ability to read plans and blueprints, ability to understand codes, regulations, ordinance. I would maybe put it right after that and leave the work with interruptions at the end because it's sort of a separate theme altogether.
Ordinances.
Yeah, I see.
So maybe just move it up one sentence. Yeah.
Okay,
But then you can see under skills, it's also listed under skills. So I think that's.
Karen, where that red sentence is, could you put in ability to use GIS for maps, comma, graphics, comma, analysis, and public outreach, okay?
Okay, because this is just bugging me. And the second paragraph under physical requirements, right at the very beginning, could we say something like an employee in this position is?
Then the second section of that, or, you know, the second phrase is, it's structured incorrectly. It doesn't read right in terms of the agreement.
Yeah, so it is regularly required to walk, stand, sit, talk, and hear, to handle, feel, or operate.
Yes.
I actually think that that may have to be, we'll have to ask the personnel office. Because I'm not quite sure if we're allowed to discriminate like that, because arguably you don't have to walk. You don't have to be able to, you know, there are certain
Yeah.
items there that might be
Yeah, and if
discriminatory.
if we need to take those out for equality of access, that's not a problem for me. I just, the thing where it said this position is required to, that just purely on grammatical grounds, it was just making me twitch. But yes, I can see where this would in fact be discriminatory and we might have a problem with it. On the other hand, I can also see where they probably, or at some point, a personnel representative probably added it in because it sounds like boilerplate.
Yeah,
probably came from those people that came and got hired, like, I didn't know I was gonna have to stand at the copier.
It
Right.
might be, I mean, yes, we should ask personnel, but I would think you could do something like an employee in this position is regularly required to move about the office, talk and hear with or without adaptive
Devices,
devices.
but isn't that going
Yeah.
on the same lines?
Well,
I think we should just kick this to personnel and possibly
Yeah.
legal and let them handle it.
Yeah.
I see the point, but I have no idea what the appropriate language actually is.
Yeah, I can see they did the vision thing over there as well. And hearing, okay,
yeah, that whole,
uh-huh. Can do that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame because it will delay getting this out, but I would hope it won't delay it for long.
Yeah, and the thing is that if we have the answer to this question, it should be applicable to pretty much any job in this office.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the rest of it looks fine to me. Well, the rest of supervision, I didn't see the job environment part.
Operates an automobile?
Is that necessary?
Well, it depends on how many site things they have to go to.
Well, they could jump in a car.
It's true, if somebody else is available to drive them.
Arguably, you could ride your bike just about anywhere in town.
That's true. Well,
That might be another one we could ask
yeah,
the personnel office on.
Oh. Okey-dokey. We good?
All right.
I think not only are we set, but Marco has joined us.
Yep. All right.
Okay, so we finished that item. The next item on our out of order agenda is the what do we call that thing? The historic district for,
Historic Commission for Sacred Heart Local Historic District Preliminary Report.
right, that's the one, thank you.
That's the one. Yeah, let me get to it. Oh, I
Yeah.
think it's in the email.
And has anyone not read the letter that the local historic district sent us? Which seemed very straightforward to me.
The thing I don't understand is what exactly the Historic Commission needs us to do, which
Oh.
I imagine is why Marco is here.
Yes, Marco, you want to tell us anything about this and what you would like us to do?
Oh, wait, he probably can't unmute. I couldn't do it in screen share mode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's all set now. He should be able to unmute.
Great. Hi, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening. Good to
I-
see you.
Yeah. Hi, Mimi. How are you doing? Good to see you, or I should say, Chairperson Panich.
Oh, we're not that formal around here.
I'm sorry I wasn't able to log in before. I almost never use my phone on Zoom. I've only used it one other time, and there must have been some setting that wasn't right. I apologize for that false start.
Yeah, well, not a
Um,
problem. We got
well,
other stuff done.
I can just give a couple minute description of what we're doing. So the topic or the building, the complex in question is Our Lady of Guadalupe, which was formerly known as Sacred Heart Church, built in 1876. It's at the corner of Maple and Sargent Street, and it's a complex of 3 buildings. There's the church, there's a rectory, and a recreation hall, and it basically takes up the whole block. There used to be, I think, one other building which had since disappeared, But it's a whole city block right in the middle of downtown. The Holyoke Preservation Plan identifies the church at least and as a priority endangered property. The church itself is a Gothic revival style church. It is not in great shape, but there are some certainly there are going to be some repairs that will probably need to be done, although I've only observed from the outside the masonry and some cracks and some deterioration. The rectory is quite an interesting building. In my mind, a little more interesting than the church. It's a Second Empire style. I don't know if you can share the photographs. I don't have it pulled up right now, but
I
you know,
have this.
those
the
two buildings are kind of interesting. It might be like on pages maybe 10 or 9 or something. The goal of the local historic district. So that's the
Yeah.
vintage photo. The church obviously is on the right. The steeple was added at a later date, about 10 years or so after the church itself was built, and that's the rectory there. I don't think you can see the recreation hall on the far left, but and so that's the church as it appears today. It has quite a tall steeple. There's the side of the church. There's a front
Yeah.
view of the rectory, kind of really unusual building. I think there might be another photograph of the rectory. It has these unusual curved stairs at the front. You see how the entry porch, let's call it, is sort of triangular. It's square, but rotated off to the side. It's kind of
Somebody
interesting.
was looking at Art Nouveau as it began to sweep in.
Hmm.
Maybe, yeah. I think the dormers and the roof shape are what make it contribute to the Empire style. And I think there might be a photograph of the recreation hall, which is essentially a gym. Yeah, that's the photo there. That's still the rectory there on top, and that's the and I think that the recreation hall is still being used today. When I walked by and saw that there were kids going in playing basketball on a Saturday. The goal of the local historic district would be to protect this property from demolition.
Yeah.
And the reason that this is even an issue is that I did receive an email from OPED, Office of Economic Planning and Development. And in the text, it basically was an email that was forwarded that was from a realtor who indicated that the Diocese of Springfield has not received offers or any interest in developing the site. And in that email, they said that if there's no alternative or forthcoming options, that they would move forward with demolition plans. Excuse me.
Right.
So, I mean, in a way, this is mirroring what happened at Mater Dolorosa, a few years ago. That was a church that was no longer in use. This church is no longer in use. It was not abandoned, but it's been vacant. It hasn't had services since 2017. It has a rich history, lots of interesting facts about it. But we would like to try to stem the tide of demolition and see if maybe there's an alternate future for the church. I'm not sure what that is yet. I don't know that it's our job to find what goes in it, but we would like to try to preserve the building. And by creating a local historic district, it actually would have controls that are stronger than than others, like his national designations, historic designations. You can always get around those. With a local historic district, there basically would be, we already have a local historic district commission. Right now there's only one local historic district, that's Fairfield Avenue. This would be a second district composed of all 3 buildings on that block. We would use some of the similar regulations. The ordinance that we have now would be similar to the ordinance that we have there. We've prepared this report. We've submitted it to Mass Historic Commission. They have a meeting tomorrow, and I'll be at that meeting just to see if they have any questions. But and then we also gave a copy of the report to planning, as you know.
Yes.
I'm not, this will be my first time doing this process. I would rely a little bit on Olivia Mosul to help, because I know that she was very present during this process, and it involves a public hearing, it involves going to city council, a city council vote. There are lots of procedures that we still need to overcome, but this is the first step, and not sure where it will go, but we'll have to follow the procedures, and one of the first steps is checking in with planning.
Okay. Well,
I think that the goal, and correct me if I'm wrong, Marco, is to get a letter of support from planning board so that we can
Yes.
bring that to city council when we go in front of them.
Thank you. That's a good point.
okay. Well, I have no questions about this. Does any other member of the planning board have any questions that they want answered? Kate?
Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, obviously I think in the abstract, I think that this is a great idea. As a practical matter, how likely is it that, and maybe this is something I didn't pay too much close attention with Mater de la Rosa, but are there legal obstacles to creating a historic district for a property that is just one property owner, and that owner doesn't want you to create it?
I'm not able to speak to that right now. I don't know. I'm certain that there would be some exchange of correspondence, and I guess I'd have to see if somebody else was able to map out a course that this could take. I don't know if it's something that's negotiated. I don't know if something that is, that the current owner would have. I don't know is the answer.
Yeah, if it is owned by the Diocese of Springfield, Olivia probably still has records from the attempt to do the same thing with Mater de la Rosa. I think they ran into procedural obstacles on a local level as opposed to running into legal obstacles. But the commission at the time may have already researched this. But certainly they got quite a long ways without worrying about what the diocese thought. And the diocese obviously did not want anything to interfere with demolition. And I have a vague recollection that our former OPED director, Marcos Marrero, was concerned with this block and had suggested that at some point you all might want to make a move like this.
I'm not sure who the original impetus came from, but it did come to my attention recently when this email surfaced.
Yeah, but as you can tell from my comments, I think this is a great idea, and we don't need to worry about procedure or the legality or the legal obstacles for you. We just have to say whether, from a planning perspective, we approve of it or not, as I understand it.
That sounds
and
correct.
I personally am very happy to support it from a planning perspective, but I wouldn't want to make any assurances as to whether it's actually doable, but merely that we think it would be a good thing if it could be done.
Yeah, and that's all we're looking for.
Yeah.
Planning.
Okay, Nathan Gernander, anything?
Yes, Mr. Marco, I have a question for that. The gym area, I remember I think they was banned because of the condition of the building for using. Are they still using that building for the kids for the basketball? As I heard like a couple of years ago, they stopped using it due to the condition of the building.
I had toured the general area earlier this year. It was in the beginning of January, and there were groups of people moving in and out of that recreation hall. So I made the assumption that it was still in use because there were people going in and out of the building.
Maybe they just like employees. They're going in and out.
No, there were children.
There was children.
Yes, there were children with basketballs, parents, with holding hands with their kids walking into the building. They had basketballs.
I remember, sorry to interrupt you. I remember, I think it was like 2 years ago, there was a part of the building on the gym, it was fell. And so they banned the building for using for the kids. Maybe it's just the hall, or maybe there's other part they're using it. I'm not sure about it. I think we had to get more deeply to look into that one. If you have any information, please, can you forward?
Certainly.
I just searched, and I'm seeing, wait, let me find it. When it came up on results as Our Lady of Guadalupe Basketball League with the sign up.
Yeah, maybe the part of the building is usable and another part of it isn't. We haven't been able to be inside the building, so.
Is it it's at 345 Chestnut Street?
I believe so.
Is that it? It's so here on holyoke.org, it's saying they're having live sign up registration January 28th, 2023.
Hmm.
So that sounds like things are happening there.
I'll say that I don't have all the answers at this point, and we've been kicking this around a little bit more urgently lately, and there are
Yeah.
definitely some things that I would like to figure out. I just haven't the condition of the buildings and whether or not they're usable would be one of them. Maybe I'm not sure if we can check in with the city legal department to see, under what premise we might be able to move forward. Unfortunately, I don't have some of these items in place right now, but we
I
do have
think
this
they still-
report. Excuse me.
I think they still do the registration for the basketball for the kids. I think, if I'm not wrong, they're using a boys and girls clubs for the tournament and event, not that building. I'm not sure, but that's what I heard. So we had to look into that one. Because I think they still have the office there where the people go and, sign up for the season.
Gurinder,
on the game.
does the fact that they're playing basketball affect whether you think this is a good idea from a planning board perspective?
The concern is like about the safety, that's my concern with the safety is, I think I have an email, a letter, I have to look for it and I can get back to you about that.
Yeah.
Because I think our former chair, and he was working with them, with that chair, with the church. So he have more info. I can get into that one and get back to you.
But I think Lauren does have a point here. Whether or not you can actually use the building for a basketball tournament at the moment is not necessarily relevant to whether we should pursue historic designation in the hopes that this can be rehabbed somehow rather than torn down.
Exactly.
If the building is repairable, yes, we should be keeping those buildings historic and was part of the Holyoke history. And
Yeah, because I think that the concern here really is just to have another tool in place to prevent premature demolition.
Yes.
And
I see.
there's probably some urgency to getting this done because the diocese has already demonstrated that it really does not care about Holyoke's historic heritage. And if we're going to have the time we need to get these buildings back in order, it seems to me that every tool we can get into place is probably going to be helpful. And if there is no ability to reuse them, there isn't. But I would hate to not offer what protection and ability that we do have to at least look for a better solution.
Question, Madam Chair.
Absolutely.
Even our letters, a sport of letter goes in favor of historic commission. Who have a last say? Are they going to really, like how we does all the work in ordinance committee, the committee, and end of the day, they do whatever they want to do. Really, this can help our letter in the city council meeting or whatever's they need it for?
Yeah, I think that it can probably help with Mass Historic Commission if that's where they're going next, because demonstrations of local support are useful. I'm
Mhm.
basically assuming that from everything we hear from other bodies, like a CPA recommendation, it can help get funding for things because it's a demonstration that the city supports it. You know, some of our little
I
grants.
understand.
So,
Thanks for that answer.
but I think that you're right. It's not us who will ultimately decide it.
But the supporter letter will help. Thanks. Thank you,
Well-
Mr. Marco.
Thank you.
Well, thank you all very much for your support, and I will follow up on a couple of those questions that came up. Is there anything else I can do this evening?
Well,
I feel like I would just, unless Nathan has something to say, I'd propose that we do write a letter of support.
Yeah.
And that we
yeah,
send it.
I would agree. Unless, obviously, we want Nathan to have a chance to ask questions, but I would say if we vote out a letter of support tonight, at least, you can have that to tell the Mass Historic Commission when you appear before them tomorrow.
Great, thank you.
I think I just had a really quick question. It's more of a curiosity. What are the rules for signs that are bigger than 1 square feet? Are those regulated by the commission or are it just simply banned?
Oh, did you not get my email response?
I think I didn't, or I think you kind of left it open unless I.
Well, I looped Marco in and I just
Oh,
asked,
okay.
I said, I'm pretty sure that what that's talking about is the historic plaques. It's not, because it's talking about residential. Correct me if I'm wrong, Marco.
I think that's correct. We might need to take a closer look at the ordinance part of this property, because the ordinance was adapted from the residential Fairfield Avenue district. And if this complex, if this site were developed, and it would not, it might have some residential component, but not in the single family home typology. It might, so some signage I think would be appropriate if it had a public use and people needed to be able to see it. So I think we could always make adjustments as we move forward to the ordinance.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with the project, so best of luck.
Well, thank you.
Okay, so Kate, was that a motion?
Yeah, it was a motion. We should know, like, do we know who are we writing the letter to? Who do we address the letter to, Marco? I guess that's.
Yeah, I would say to me at local historic district commission.
Anyway, so yes, I'll move that we write a letter of support.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
I roll call vote Nathan
Yes.
Bernander.
I think that was a yes.
Show that he's waving yes.
I think he's
Second.
I think he can't
Yeah,
unmute.
okay. Yep, okay. And.
Yes,
Yep, Kate
Yes.
and Mimi.
Yes.
And,
I was kicked out from the meeting. I don't know what happened.
and I
Oh.
was triple tasking over here. And did I miss who's writing a letter of support? Is this a standard one coming from this office, or Marco, did you have a standard?
I do not have a standard
Okay.
letter of recommendation.
So I can provide one to Mimi just to, and I'll,
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
okay, so it's on us, got it.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, members of the planning board. And if there's
Well,
anything
thank you
else
for
I can do,
taking
let
it
me
on.
know. All right. Well, shall I go now? Is that all right? If
Yeah, I mean, you're welcome. to
Just one
support.
suggestion, Marco.
Unless you want to stay.
thank you. Was there a suggestion?
Yeah, if you're in the car next time using, or somewhere, anywhere else, you're using my cell phone to connect it, just shut off your Wi-Fi and it will connect you directly from the data. I
Okay,
do that all the time when I connect from the phone.
I'll give that a try then. Thank you. Thank you all very much. Have a good evening.
Have a good
Thank you
evening.
too.
All right, thanks. Goodbye.
Sharon, is there anyone in your office or is it someone that just came from your office? Because there's someone walking around up here.
Yes, my boss.
Oh, Aaron's here. Oh, okay.
Okay, so unless anybody else has something that they'd like to take up at this point in the meeting, I would suggest that we go back to the public hearing that we skipped over, which is the zoning text change continuation. Okay.
Can
Hearing,
I
no-
just,
no, go
should I
ahead.
just, I move to reopen the public hearings?
How about if we recess planning?
Or we have to recess planning first. Okay, I move that we recess. Can I make both motions at once, Sharon?
Sure.
I move that we recess the meeting, the public meeting of the Holyoke Planning Board and reopen our public hearings. But specifically that we are reopening the zoning text change to add a battery storage facility.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
By roll call vote, Nathan,
Yes.
Briander,
Yes,
Kate,
Yes.
and Minnie.
Yes.
Okey-dokey.
And